Welcome, welcome. Y'all probably see my son roaming around. Welcome in, welcome in. So I am on a little earlier than I typically get on. There's a reason for that. I have a meeting at the time of my typical live. So because of that, I am going to jump on here now. GL, please stop. I'm here with my little munchkin who is choosing violence at this time. You want to say hi? Want to say hi, Gigi? Come here, Gigi. Yeah, my son is like he want to be heard and seen. I'll tell you that right now. I didn't know that was like a Pisces quality, but yeah, he's running around and he's a little personality, y'all. He is a little personality. And I say little, but I really mean a ginormous personality for a little person. What's up, Amy? Welcome in. Yeah, I'm talking about you. I am. Oh my gosh. So I know there's really not, I don't think anybody's really tuned in yet, but if y'all watched last night's live, it got so emotional. We were talking about just giving people their flowers, right? Because I had to shift gears. I had a cancellation and it was like it had happened in real time, which was kind of crazy because I didn't see my messages. The guest had reached out a little, maybe like 30 minutes before the show, but I missed it. I didn't see it. So it was a last minute pivot, but it was beautiful. And I really enjoyed the conversation and I understood that that sometimes changes just happen. You just gotta roll with it. And so that's what we did last night. There was a pivot and I just rolled with it, right? And one of the things that we ended up talking about is just appreciating the people in this community, the people in that have an impact on our lives, right? So many times um, we get on this platform and just, we think, oh, we'll be able to see this person again next week or the week after. And one of the announcements we had made during that particular live last night was that the Barry Mel experience was coming to an end, and a lot of people were taken by surprise. And I get it because, a lot of folks were just like, what in the heck is going on here? And even myself, right? Like I've been working with BME for about a little over a year. We've been cool longer than that. But in terms of the podcast part of things, we had been doing it for a little while now, and it was very shocking for a lot of people to see that they were no longer going to be hosting the the weekly podcast for the men. And it's one of those things like, and I just posted something about this on my Facebook. When you're in the thick of things, right? Like, and you're going through the day to day, you're dealing with, whatever it is life is throwing your way. As you're navigating those things, you don't always realize who's watching. You don't always realize who's like being inspired or influenced by the things you say and do on the day in and day out, right? So that was part of what we ended up kind of pivoting to in terms of the conversation. It was like so many people who, just do content or, they have a show and they're just doing it because it's something that they want to give to the community, but they don't realize the impact that they have on the people they come in contact with because it's just something that seems so second nature. It's like something that seems like, oh, it's a no-brainer. Like, I'll do this easy peasy lemon squeezy, right? But then when it comes to an end is when you really realize, like, oh my goodness, this whole time I've been inspiring an entire group of people. And I think that's the realization that the guys had last night from BME. And I mean, everyone broke down in tears, and it was beautiful. It was sad. It was bittersweet. You want to come up here? So he wants to be on camera. It was bittersweet, but nonetheless, it was such a nice conversation and a great way to pivot. Yeah. Yeah, but you can't touch my buttons. No, no, mister. You can't touch the buttons, okay? No, no, no. But anyhow, so we just rolled with the punches, and um part of part of what I wanted to just kind of capture about that conversation was, as you're going through your life, you think it's just a regular degular schmegula life. Your life has an impact on someone else, right? Whether you know it or not. And that is so freaking powerful. We don't always get an opportunity to know who we impact, but for sure, if you didn't know, I hope you know now that your story is important, that your story is necessary, and that your story is valuable. You need help, Papa? It fell under there? Okay, I'll get it for you in a second. And let me see if I can get it. There you go, sweet bear. There you go. So, um, yeah, so that was like a true testament to like how important one person's story can be, right? What started off as, you know, let's say I'll backtrack a little bit just to kind of give you perspective, right? What started off as an idea became very intentional chat, right? Very intentional chat, myself, very pretty pinup. That gave birth to other ideas, which was a male panel. That gave birth to another idea, which was the Berry Male Experience. That gave birth to even more ideas. And we see how many men now are actively posting in the community, are actively sharing their stories, being vulnerable. And all of these things are like a continuation of one person deciding to share, one person deciding to pass along the journey, right? So Anna and I are not special in any way. Like, I know that that sounds like kind of, but I mean it in the way of we didn't have any connections. We didn't have any like special tools to do our lives. It was just purely like, hey, we want to do something. Let's work with what we have and let's just do it, right? And with that simple act of just doing what's on your heart with whatever you have currently, it can take you to places you have never been. I went from being the person who did not want to get on lives because I was nervous. I was like, oh, I don't know if I want to do lives, to now I do a weekly live every Sunday, every Monday, and I'm talking to you guys. And sometimes the room is empty, sometimes the room is full of people. And that's okay, right? Because at the end of the day, like I'm staying true to what I love, staying true to what brings me joy. And then I feel I can add value, right? And this is the stuff that makes me happy. So I don't always get an opportunity to be outside, right? Like I can't be outside all the time. I have kids, I have a spouse, I have responsibilities, and I'm 100% a content creator and coach as like what I do for a living, which still requires a lot of legwork. Anyone who's in entrepreneurship knows when you're building something from the ground up, it takes a lot of time, effort, energy, um, sometimes funds, right? And we do the best we can with what we have. And so that is what I'm doing now. I do the best I can with what I have, and that's going to be my energy always and forever. I'm going to always do the best I can with what I have. I don't want anyone to ever feel like they need something something special to do what it is they want to do. That is a lie, right? That is a bold lie that so many of us live day in and day out because we think that somehow we need degrees or we need, the stamp of approval from, whatever, people, situations, like you don't need any of that stuff, right? Like all that stuff is extra, right? It's just a cherry on top. But everything that is in within you to do, anything that is within your heart to want to bring to life, you have everything that is required to get started. I told this story in another conversation that I had on here. When I started doing lives, I had one of those like um ring lights, like the desktop ring light situation. And it was funny because it worked perfectly like the first week I had it, right? The first 2 weeks I had it. Then after a while, it was just like bloop, bloop. The ring light just kept doing all of this wobbling stuff, and I kept trying to tighten it and adjust it, tightening it, adjusting it to the point where it just stopped. Like I couldn't even twist the thing anymore. It would just keep twisting. It didn't secure anything. So I'm like, well, that's some BS, right? And I'm like, I'm not buying another ring light. I gotta buy. I gotta buy food. I gotta pay my mortgage. I pay my car note. I gotta pay, my phone bill, my internet. Like, the let's just say the ring light was not at the top of my priority list. Okay, so what did I do? I took clear tape, clear packing tape, and wrapped that bad boy around the neck of the damn ring light. And for a whole year, I was just recording with this ring light with tape around it until I was like, "Oh, you know what? I probably should invest in another one." And I did. But the moral of the story is no one knows how resourceful you're getting anyway. Like, Geo, stop it. Hold on, guys. This little boy. Stop it. Stop. When you have little ones, especially these little boys, they just be doing a lot. Stop. Can you stop? Stop it. Stop it. Geo. Geo. He is like, this is a good story. Let me tell my story. Come on. All right. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come be in the camera with mama. Come be on camera with mama. So, okay. So you have something to say? You can talk about a time you were resourceful. Yeah. Okay. And what else? Let's see. And these are one of the other things I have to always like take into consideration is like I have three little ones, and I know that my situation is not going to be the same as someone who has no little ones or someone who has, a nanny or something like that, right? So I have to work with my circumstance. I have to work with my situation. I have to meet myself where I'm at, right? And this is just kind of the nature of life, right? Sometimes the circumstances aren't perfect. Sometimes the situations aren't perfect, but you make them work to your advantage. You make them work to the best of your abilities. Like there are going to be times where, hey, welcome in. What's up, Barry Best? Um, yeah, there's going to be situations where it's just not the most ideal circumstance, but am I gonna stop myself from doing? See, come at me. Come at me. What do you need? Keep flush. You wanna watch Miss Rachel? You wanna watch Miss Rachel? Hold on, guys. On what, Miss Rach? No. Oh, I know what I did. You want to deal with it? You want to deal with it? Right here. Right here. Right here. Let's put Miss Rachel on. We're gonna put Grandmama Rachel. Miss, we're gonna put Grandmommy Rachel on. So for anybody who's a parent to a small munchkin, y'all know Miss Rachel always comes through. She is my saving grace so many times, especially when this little munchkin gets to doing his little munchkin stuff. Oh my God, I see myself on live. So weird. I went to YouTube and I forgot that I'm live on YouTube as well. Oh, you okay? That was a big burp. That was a big burp, mister. And so, yeah, if y'all have kids, you know, Miss Rachel, she's the one. Like, if she ever had a concert, I would have to go. Mama. You want to clap it? You want to clap it? Sorry, guys. So I'm in mommy mode. You want my berry meal experience bracelet? Yeah, you gotta put it on your wrist. Put it on your wrist like this. There you go. Perfect. You want to get down or you want to stay up here with mama? So, to my point, everyone's situation is different, right? So many times you compare your journey to other people's journeys, but you don't know what things other people have, what things other people are doing behind the scenes. You don't know, right? You just see what people show you. And a lot of times, what happens is you get discouraged from doing things because you feel like, well, I don't have this, so I can't do that. I don't look like this, so I can't do that. Like, I just want to encourage whoever this message is for, myself included, that you work with what you got. You work with what you have. You're not going to always have the best situations. You're not always going to have the best circumstances. You're not always going to have all the resources. You're not going to always have the connections. So I want you to take inventory of what you do have, right? And when you're taking inventory of what you do have, I want you to be grateful for it, right? So as you're compiling your inventory of tools and things that you already have on your end, I want you to say thank you. Thank you because I have my ring light. Thank you because I have the internet to be able to do these lives. Thank you that I have a laptop that while I'm not crazy about the image quality on here, it works. It has a camera. You guys are able to see me, you guys are able to hear me. And so I'm grateful for that. And so in due time I'll have a better one, right? Yes, I'm grateful for the ability to still, generate an income while I'm home with my baby, right? I'm grateful to like so if he is sick, I can still I could still be home and take care of him. I'm grateful for him being a little pain in the butt because he makes me he has taught me so much more patience, right? He and my other child, my other little one, she's older than him, but she's my middle child. And she is on you wanna get down? You wanna get it? Go get it. Go get it. See it, pick it up. Don't step on it, okay? She is my middle child. She is on the spectrum, on the autism spectrum, and she has, special needs, and she also has um no, she doesn't she's considered nonverbal. While that is not so much the case anymore because she's saying more than she's ever said ever. And this is another example of like meeting people where they are. When I had the conversation about my daughter being nonverbal, that was devastating, right? Because like as a mom, you want to be able to do you want to be able to do right by your kids. You want to be able to support your children in any way you possibly can. But when I was told that she was nonverbal, I was like, how am I supposed to help her? Am I equipped as a mom to support my autistic child? I've never had a child with special needs. That was my first time having a child with special needs. And then I had to give myself some grace, right? Because, hi, Susie, welcome in. Because I understood the concept of I just got to work with what I have, right? Like this is new to me. This is foreign to me. And it wasn't like 100% foreign because uh as a I worked as an operations manager at a clinic for children and adults with special needs back in my days of living in New York. And that I spent some time there, and that experience was great. But like actually living through the experience of parenting a child with special needs has uh, a lot of learning curves, right? So I'm constantly learning. So going back to the whole theme for today's conversation is you are already equipped with everything you need to get started on whatever it is you want to do. We talked about it from the weight loss perspective, we talked about it from the entrepreneurship perspective. Now I'm talking to you about it from the parenting perspective. I was very, very overwhelmed with all the new information that I was given, all the things that I felt like I needed to learn as a mom to a special needs child. And even till this day, like I still get a ton of new information and I'm constantly, running around trying to find all the best services for her. And there are moments where I get in my feelings. There are moments that I get, like I said, overwhelmed. There are moments that I'm like, am I really equipped to be the mom of a special needs child? And the answer for that is 100% yes. Why? Because I have the ability to know that I don't know everything, the ability to be willing to learn things. And I have the mindset of, I'm going to figure this out, right? So those are just things that I didn't have to purchase that anywhere, right? Those are things that came within me already. These are things that already exist within me. So I want you to take inventory of what things exist within you that no one has given to you. Maybe these are just natural things that, well, yes, if you believe in a higher power, then yes, someone gave it, something gave it to you, right? But if I just want you to start thinking about it. Like, what is something that you have within you that no one gave? You just were born with it. You was just born with it. That's just who you are. I am wildly I teeter between being wildly optimistic and also having moments where I'm like, you know, but that is one of those things that I don't know. Hi, welcome in, stuff. I have my moments, right? That I'm like, do I have it all together? Do I have this? Do I have You know what I have? I have my resourcefulness. No one gave me that. That was just something that I learned on my own through the struggle, through the hard times. There's something inside of you that you have that equips you to do the things that you want to do. But what is it? Is it the fact that you see opportunity and things that others don't? Like when I see some of the like prime examples, right? Like those people who do DIYs, I'm always so impressed by those people because thank you. I'm always so impressed by the people who do DIYs and are like crafty. And I am crafty in my own way, but I'm also a person who struggles with ADHD, so sometimes seeing projects all the way through can create challenges for me, and that's something I'm working on, right? But those people who just they see how they can make something better. I could never make the yes. And that's the thing, like in my head, I'm like, wow, those people are so impressive. Like, I would have never thought to put I would have never colored it that way, but that is so freaking cool. Like, I'm always impressed by that. I'm impressed by people who, are able to to do the most with the least, right? So that is something that I align with quite a bit, because I think that when you work with what you have, do the most with the least, more comes your way. More comes your way. You do the most with the least, and more comes your way. You start aligning with people who create opportunity. You start creating your own opportunities, but because you're stepping into something with what you have, people see that. People support that. People want to stand behind you on that. You know how many times I started something and I was like, man, this is going to be so hard because I don't have the resources. I don't, but I'm like, I'm just going to do it anyway, and then people come out of like the clear blue, strangers. I want to be a part of this. I want to join this. I want to do this. And it's only because I took the first step. It's only because I started with what I had. I started with what I'm able to offer, my what I'd like to get say my God-given talents. What you put out into the world will always come back to you. Yes, 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 yes. And that's one of those things too that I'm very mindful of as well. JBY made me realize my impact is greater than I knew. Oh, that was one of the things we were talking about too, stuff is that even when you think that no one is watching, or when you think that people don't see you, they do, right? And you're walking in your truth, you're walking in your authenticity, you're walking in all that you are, and meeting yourself where you are. People appreciate that. I know I do. I love how open and vulnerable you are. There are a lot of other folks too who I watch and I'm like, wow, like this person, I don't think they know their impact. And I had a person like that in my life, right? Who unfortunately, I never got an opportunity to tell her because she passed, but her impact on my life still has a ripple effect, because now here I am doing what she did for me, right? For someone else. Being able to come on here on this platform and just say, "Hey, it's possible for you. Whatever is on your heart to do, do it." Oh, thank you. Thank you. So that is the ripple effect of when you show up for yourself. Because she showed up for herself, and in turn then showed up for other people, right? Because I seen her doing things. I see her on her grind. Same way you guys are in the community sharing your stories. You guys are doing things in this community that you don't think people are watching. People are watching. You will always notice that there will always be more views on your videos than there are likes. And that's because sometimes, and I don't think it's coming from a negative place. I think people just have a hard time acknowledging that you can watch, you could appreciate what you're watching, but sometimes I think sometimes people don't want to acknowledge that for whatever reason. I always try to show love on videos. Hey, Sin. But you have an impact, right? Like your story has an impact. The things you do have an impact. How you move in this world has an impact. Are you a good person, right? And we all have flaws, right? Because we're not perfect creatures, but what I mean by that is, are you walking in your authenticity? And if you're walking in your authenticity, whatever that looks like for you, are you able to pour into somebody else at the same time, right? Because because when you walk in your authenticity, it happens naturally. It's effortless, right? When you show up and you have these conversations, there's no, like, I don't have a script at all. Like I have an idea of what I want to talk about when I come on Mondays, but um more times than not I just let the spirit guide me. I let just stuff flow. And while that is how I'm showing up now, of course there's going to be a little bit of a shift at some point. Um yes, even when I don't know how I'm even standing some days, I still when and this is what I mean, right? Because your world could be falling apart, right? And this is the magic of like walking in your authenticity. Your world could be falling apart, experience loss, health concerns, all kind of things happen to people on a day in and day out, and somehow they still find a little sparkle, a little glimmer to give to somebody else. Like, you're one of those people. A lot of you guys in the chat, you're those people, right? So many times I get on my lives on Sunday and people don't know that maybe like a few hours ago I was bawling my eyes out just trying to keep my sanity, and I don't expect people to know that, right? I don't expect people to, hi, Timmy, good morning. Good morning, good morning. Yeah, sometimes people don't know. Like, I struggled for some time with, postpartum depression. I struggled, um, some time with, loss. I struggle with all the things that you could possibly think of, health issues, grieving loss, financial issues, all kinds of things, right? But I understood that those are outside factors that I cannot control. But what I did have control of is, how am I going to continue to show up in this space? Am I going to be a victim of my circumstance, or am I going to overcome and be, you know, the person that I'm destined to be? Am I going to walk in my purpose? Am I going to walk in my authenticity? And even when I was going through stuff, I literally, oh my gosh, this is right around the corner, girl, October 5th. That's crazy. I literally still showed up, right? I had a baby. The following week, I was already back in business. I didn't take no time off, right? And yeah, we're human. We're absolutely human. And I think that even with everything I had going on, I made a decision that I was going to continue to show up, that I was going to continue to just show love and keep pouring back into a community, whether it gave back to me or not. It was irrelevant, right? Because I knew that God had put a plan in my heart and had put, this and I talk very freely about God, so if that offends anybody, I don't know what to tell you, but um, I know that I have a purpose, and I know that it's bigger than me, and I'm just gonna keep walking in my truth, and what that looks like, is what you see here. Like, there's no sugarcoating anything I do. Like, yeah, literally, it was like literally the next day. Hey, Latanya, welcome, 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 folks in the chat. Like, because I'm so God led. I'm so like, look, I gotta show up. I gotta do this. I gotta do this. I gotta do this. And when I really love what I do, it don't feel like hard work. And I'm lying. It does feel like hard work, but it's work that I don't mind doing because it's worth it to me. There are days that I'm exhausted and I'm like, you know what? I still gotta dust it off because somebody needs to hear what I've gotta say. Today I have a meeting in like 20, 30 minutes, right? And I was like, I'm gonna just jump on earlier because I know that these conversations are important. I know someone needs to be reminded that they have everything they need inside of them already. I know that someone needs to hear that they're appreciated, even when they don't think they are. That the work that they're putting in, that while no one may not say anything in that very moment, it's appreciated and people see it and they know that you're putting in that work and continue to do that, whether you get the acknowledgement or not, you know. And that's another piece too. You're going to have to give yourself your own flowers. And I mentioned this in the conversation yesterday. Sometimes you're going to have to give yourself your own flowers. Acknowledge that what you're doing is amazing. Acknowledge that what you're doing is the best you can and really do the best you can. Right. And also know that what you have is sufficient. And as you walk into your excellence and your purpose with what you have, opportunities begin to open up for you. People start coming around who align with your mission and your vision for your life. But you got to take that first step. You got to take that first step. I told you guys from a parenting standpoint, I was very I was feeling very inadequate. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I was feeling very inadequate as a mom to now, two little ones with special needs. My son recently started early intervention, and my heart was heavy at first because I was like, oh my God, I already have, a child with autism. Now I have another child with developmental delays. And, I'm struggling with depression. I'm struggling with ADHD. I have, my businesses. This is my main source of income, is creating content. Like all of these things just started swirling in my head. And then I had to take a deep breath and just remind myself You were never given more than you can't handle. I'm absolutely able and capable of doing it. I'm just a couple pieces of information away from getting stuff done, right? So I got I got myself in a good space, take a deep breath, and proceeded to get all the services I needed from my son, get all the services I needed from my middle child, and knew that I don't have all the answers, which is why there are professionals in place to help parents who, like myself, don't have all the answers. Like, it is very scary to feel as a parent that you don't have all the answers, but also know that just take the first step. You have enough, you have enough within you to still parent. You have enough within you to still be able to show up for your kids, even if that means showing up and getting them help from someone who's actually equipped to do it. So that's what I'm doing. One day at a time, 1 minute at a time, 1 hour at a time, 1 week at a time, 1 month at a time, 1 year at a time. And that's all I can do, right? I can't, as much as I want to be super mom, superwoman, I still have me to take care of. I still have my mental health to take care of. I still have my physical health to take care of. And I also want to continue to do the things that bring me joy, the things that bring me peace. Uh, how's everyone doing? We're doing great, Timmy. Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. And so I want us all to just remember that even when it gets hard, you have everything you need inside. Even when you feel inadequate, you have enough to get you through the first steps. Even when you feel like your world is coming crumbling, you're never given more than you can handle. We can do hard things 100%. I love that. We can do the hard things. And in the hard times and in the challenges and in the difficulties, there is growth. Every time you think about that working out, right? Like you don't develop that muscle until you start getting some resistance, right? When life throws those curveballs your way, that is resistance. It's adding a little more weight because it's trying to help you build that emotional muscle, that mental muscle. And I know it sucks, but it's the beauty of having a pulse and the beauty of having a pulse and air running through your lungs is that while you're here, you're working out, right? You're working out that emotional muscle, you're working out that mental muscle. The question is, are you going to continue to lift the weight? Are you going to continue to push yourself and see how much you can carry, how much you can push? And that's not to say you can't take a breather. That's not to say you can't get support, right? Sometimes you need someone to spot you when you're lifting, right? Even when you're working out, if you think about it, sometimes you need a spotter. That's okay. But this is where we're developing our spiritual muscles, our mental muscle, our emotional muscle. And I have to remind myself of that. I'm like, wow, what an honor it is to wake up this morning. Yes, I have problems. Yes, I'd love to be a multi-billionaire. But while that's in progress, I'm going to be grateful for what I have. I'm going to work with where I'm at. I'm going to meet myself where I'm at and do the best I can in that space and place that I find myself today. And as I continue to do the best I possibly can in the space and place I find myself today, it's inevitable. Growth is going to happen. It's inevitable. The right people are going to align with me because they're going to see the work. They're going to see the dedication. They're going to see, that I'm pushing past my own limitations. It's not that I come on here preaching and I'm no, like I literally go through my own stuff where I'm like, I got to talk myself back in the game. You okay, Papa? Where you going, silly boy? He's so silly. I have to talk myself through my own limitations. So when I decided to take on the opportunity to be a life coach, I knew that I was also going to be doing some healing of my own in the process. And I love it because it's all starting to make sense. And um, I'm very proud of all of you guys. I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of how much we are not allowing our current circumstances. Thank you. I'm proud of how we're not allowing our current circumstances to keep us down. I'm proud of how even with everything that you've been through, you've come out on the other side of it. Yeah, yeah, they are exclamation marks. Good eye. I like these because I feel like I wanted to come on here and make a statement. So I was like, let me put on my statement earrings with the exclamation mark. So I am going to be preparing to hop down. I have a meeting. I'll tell you guys after the meeting what it was all about because you guys are fam, and I just want to be more mindful of like not spilling all the beans until I know the beans are in the pot and they're getting cooked up. So once I have a little more insight and hopefully we get some good news, I will come back and share with you guys what the outcome of the conversation was. So I'm excited. It's good stuff. It's good stuff though, I'll tell you that. But I appreciate you guys and I'll be back a little later. We did we did kind of break it up a little bit, but I have some updates for you guys too. And I appreciate you guys and I'll see you guys later. Bye.